exercises.
Yeah. Is it recording?
Alright, so first things first. Inline lunge, straight lunge. Just don't need to walk towards me, just go 1 foot and step back. Alright.
Oh, easy.
So what do you see? So my first concern watching this is going to be shoulder height, making sure they're level. Because the first couple, there were some dips until I started talking about it. But what is that? Let's use stop for a second. So what does that mean? It means it's fixable. Because if I can make him aware of it, he'll focus on it more.
Mm-hmm.
So biofeedback, one of the biggest things I can do to help make sure that's being addressed. So if I put it in front of a mirror and tell him it happens, then he's more inclined to be able to fix it because he sees it happening himself.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lunges, same idea. Well, he was just doing lunges, but the same idea with the knee position. If I can get him to focus on where that knee is as he moves forward, then that biofeedback just from a mirror is going to fix it. And mirrors aren't, you can go buy a $15 door mirror at Walmart and have a pretty intense rehab tool. So, next one. It was twitching on for a second. We'll use the line between the tiles. So we'll just do that for jumps. Back and forth. So just try 2 feet jumps forward and back.
Just like the hurdle wall right here.
That's fine. Just maybe jump over 1 square word.
Jump on the bed.
Alright, can I step forward and jump over this one right here?
Easy box jump.
So we're looking at just like the hurdle jump that you were watching?
Yeah.
So just jump.
That's weird. Right. His left foot's
There you go.
left foot. It's like his right, but it's like
That's good.
it's
We
the
all think.
turn. His left foot.
He doesn't seem comfortable doing it. It's a little awkward to sit there and stare at a square on the floor and try that. But I'm not seeing a whole lot that I'm worried about. So let's really try to push him a little bit. Squat jumps. When you do squat jumps, so in continuous, you can do maybe sets of 4 or 5, so you can take a break and breathe before we completely bring you up. And knee height as high as you can get it.
All right.
So accentuate that. So, go.
Ooh, touching. Oh.
Try to go one to the other without, without stopping. Yep. There you go. I like those last ones.
Oh.
Good. I said that's it. That's it. That's it. So what do you think about that?
Pretty good. Start out, okay.
What do you think about those?
Those were good.
What's that? It's a workout?
Yeah.
You look good.
Was incredibly loud. I would certainly, the fluidity from one to the next seems stiff at times. And so it'd be something that I would want to, I mean, if I had that person on the field, I'd be concerned about making sure that we found a bit more comfort in that. I'd probably do more drills just to smoothen that out a bit. I'd want to work on that landing a little bit. They got the jumps, the last few, he's capable. So if you kind of get to where they're thinking about it more, and some of it takes prompting to really get the image you're looking for. But the fact that he could, those last ones with the increased depth, made it look a little better.
I think you had surgery, right?
Would you have surgery on?
My MCL actually.
Okay. So we have prior history, which might explain a bit of that as well. And that might be residual stability issues from that rehab process. I don't know. You can volunteer.
That's why
Probably preferentially barefoot rather than.
that's really bad. Oh yeah. That's good. Then just
Any history of injury? No? Okay. Might be put on the spot.
should be perfect. Perfect form. Alright. We expect the best.
Alright, so start with lunges. Just one and a step back.
Cool shorts.
What y'all see?
There's a there's a rotation on the left hip.
So we have a little bit of shoulder,
Mhm.
and we have a little bit of knee. So which means I'm going to want to focus on some core activation, some core education. And I want to look at a little bit of hip stability just to make sure that we can kind of get that little bit of tweak out.
It's on your foot.
And it may be as simple as a few exercises in front of the mirror. Say hi to the class. Take the jumbotron, the Megatron. All right. Let's get to the squat jumps. Please. So, preload, so get deep and then try to get your knees
I
high.
should play that song.
Okay?
Jump.
Yep, so it's like 5 minute rope, no breaks. And then when you come to class, you get a workout. Alright, that's good. Thank you very much. It wasn't recorded, so nobody will ever see it. So, what about those? I heard. The pronation? The pronation is, how would you address the pronation? What could you do with that? Proper what? Proper footwear. We could potentially put in arch supports, either custom fit or over the counter, something like that, that help support that. Ideally, if you're doing jump training, you're not going to end up having much landing of your heel. So pronation shouldn't be as much of an issue because you should never be having your full foot down because you should be absorbing through the balls of your feet and your calf. So both the fact that we're seeing a lot of pronation and the fact that we're hearing the heel hit means that if we can work on that jump training, then it would probably impact significantly some of the key pieces we're looking for. The sound, the dampening of the forces, and take the stress out of the musculoskeletal system. But to some extent, that's going to be a typical difference. I'm going to see in males more knee bend, which we saw, and hear less than in females. I will typically get just the opposite. And that's because of how the structures, skeletal structures put together, and it's because of how the neuromuscular system is working with telling the muscles to work. We tend to just load the skeleton more through females. So if we can address that, if we can teach that jump training, if we can correct the core, correct the hips, then we address the problem with patellofemoral. You've seen it